Hello and welcome to a new tutorial. My name is Michael from the YouTube channel 3D Escape, and yeah, today we're gonna make this image you see right in front of you, and I will time-lapse some parts because there's some really repetitive stuff. This is really basic and you don't want to watch me doing that the whole time. So I deleted all objects and I added in a plane, and I use I don't use official release. I use a build from graphical.org, and this is because there's a modifier in it. Just experimental stuff, but we'll use that later, but I will show you. But make sure you download that version that is in the video description. You can do all that with the normal Blender version, but yeah, there's this one modifier that makes some things much more easier. So I added in a text object and rotated it 90 degrees, and to give it a little bit of thickness and a little bit of bevel. Let's see, 0.02, maybe 0.01. Yeah, looks right. Adjust the letter position, and I want to use a different font, and you find them under your local hard drive, Windows and fonts. And I want to use let's see, Vani. That one worked actually quite well, and I duplicate that text. So I have a pack up, and now I make a mesh with Alt-C, remove the doubles, and to get that look like it's directly out of Minecraft, you wanna get these blocks. And for that we use the remesh modifier, and we want to uncheck this so we get the different letters. And you see we already have basic text here, but I want to have just a few big blocks here. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, that should work. So apply it, and now go into edit mode and open the UV image editor. Say U and reset, and now we unwrap that. Some parts aren't rotated correctly right now, but we'll see that in just a moment, because we add in a new texture, Shift F3, and we got the node editor. And I use some Minecraft textures, of course, because Ticket is a mod pack for Minecraft. And I will switch now really quick to my other screen recorder to record my monitor and not just Blender, so I can show you where I can find these textures. So now I'm back with the other screen recorder, and and just type in percent app data percent .minecraft version, your current version, and this .jar upmid assets.minecraft, and there's this textures folder. You extract that to desktop, for example, or any other directory you want to have it, and then you have 99% of the textures you normally use for the blocks and such. I made it already, so I will switch back. So now I'm on my other screen recorder again, and I will close the other one. So I opened that texture now. Let's see, Minecraft textures under blocks, and there's this grass side texture. Go into material view and select closest, and you see these rotations are really weird, but there's an easy way to fix that, and is actually select one of these front faces first, go into orthographic view and press Shift G to select the similar normals, and now I can rotate them, and I need to rotate them -90 degrees, and you see they are perfectly aligned. The same for the other side, Shift G, normal, and I think I need to rotate it -90 degrees. I want to save that really quick. The same for that side, Shift G, normal, and this is 180. And now everything should be perfectly like we want to have it. And I will now go to the time-lapse part, I think. Or first let's make the other materials. This one is just a simple grass material. I downloaded that texture here from Google Images, because that one wasn't in the directory I showed you. This is just a simple grass texture. So you see it. And we also need a normal dirt version. This one is in that directory, textures, blocks, and dirt. Closest, and this is the dirt. Actually, dirt, grass, and grass underscore side. So I will apply these materials now really quick. And actually, these ones are all this one. And now we saved that already. Yeah, and I will apply these now really quick. And I don't think you want to watch that. And I'm back in just a second. So, hello and welcome back. And now I've finished to assign the different materials. There shouldn't be any mistake in here because I checked it twice. so it's actually accurate like it would be in Minecraft. And yeah, now that looks perfect. Save it. And I also want to make a diamond pickaxe, and I will time-lapse, or first show you how I make it and then we'll time-lapse it, because I will assign some different materials there. And yeah, nothing too complicated. But first, import that picture here, and we can hide the text. Now I want to add in a cube, or actually let me think. No, I want to use a plane. And I can just scale it to the size here. Use an array modifier, and can turn on the vertex snapping here, so we can duplicate it, just move it here, and now we can snap it right to this position. But sometimes, or normally, it should work that I can just offset that here. Yeah, doesn't seem to work, so I have to move it manually. Let's see, try it one last time. No. So now we aligned that, and we want to have one more segment here, and actually duplicate that one here, snap it right here, and I will snap that here as well, and just duplicate it and delete the array modifier so I can align it perfectly. First move it and then snap it. So duplicate it, rotate it 90 degrees, snap it to that position here. The same for here. One more. And now here. One less. And I will time-lapse that now, because I just repeat that, and I will assign some different materials here. So now I'm back, and you see I made this pickaxe here, and I assigned these materials. And I just extruded these planes here. This distance, one of these blocks is big, and I enabled under mesh display the length of the edge, and I see, let's see, now I see it's too long, so I extrude it to downwards, and then I get the right thickness. Anything else? Yeah, I just named these blue and brown. Just simple diffuse materials. I picked them with the color picker, the color. Yeah. that's it. Just want to move that origin point here down. So, but now you see we have 8 different materials, and I want to have that in only one material. So I duplicate this pickaxe here, right click, and I remove all these materials. I add one new and add in a texture, image texture, and turn off this mesh display. Now we want to unwrap that one, smart UV project for example, and add in a new texture, just name it color or so. Let's see, maybe light map pack. Yeah, it should work. And yeah, just select that image texture here, or make it active by selecting it, and choose the texture you created. And now you want to select the other pickaxe, now the one you added this material to. You can go to the baking options and diffuse colors, select it to active, and now you should be able to bake the colors. And actually I think we had that margin a bit too big. Let's see what happens there. So now I'm back, and it's already simple fix. Just turn this distance just a little bit up and actually disconnect it again. And if you now press bake, it works perfectly fine. So you see we have that color map here, and we can set the bleeding down just a little bit. And now I can save that. I will save it on my desktop, yeah. And we can delete that one with all the different materials, or we can leave it as a backup, but I will delete it. And now you see we can, or we simply have one material, and that controls the color of the whole object, and this gets handy later on. So let me think really quick. We have the text. Go out of local view. We have the text, we have the pickaxe, and we can start with physics stuff actually, I think. I think so. So open a new 3D view here with Shift F5, add in a camera, just search for nice position, and actually I want to recalculate the normals here with Control N, Control 0, select the camera and set the focal length to 50 or 60. That works just fine for me. Lock camera to view. And actually go into top view here. and make it a little bit bigger, and I want to have that one right in front. I'll actually make that a little bit smaller again. So. And that looks great. And I want to duplicate that text, move it forward and make it a little bit smaller. Move it here. Apply the scale. So now we actually use the modifier. I have to say again, it isn't something official, so it's a little bit unstable and Blender crashes sometimes, but it's actually really cool. So I'll move that a little bit upwards, and you'll see in just a minute why I do that. And I select here Robinoi, bisect and fill, split short to islands, and we want to add in a new material. Just call it inside, and this is the inside, or this material gets applied to the inside of these fractures. So, and you have to select it first before you say execute fracture, but you can do that, execute fracture a few times. So now test it really quick, and you see this got fractured. Of course we're gonna have some more pieces. 600. Let's see. This doesn't look too bad. And this modifier is so great, or at least I think it's really great, because it's a modifier. You can remove it all the time. You can make the fracture or change the settings and fracture it again, and you don't lose anything because the object is still the same. It automatically applies a rigid body simulation. Of course I have to say that the floor is a passive object. Go back to the start frame, and now you see it just scatters on the ground. We can use some constraints here. These allow that these stick together. It's like the metal in the concrete. So this is the thing that holds everything together and just avoids it until a specific threshold to break, and at a certain threshold it actually breaks. So set that to 1, 2, and try it. Just resimulate, and let's see the inside material, and we have to make that an emission material. And now you see already the inside glows, and when we make the world background black and we delete the light, which we did, you see it already looks really cool, I think. So you can make some lava stuff with that. And here it gets in handy with our single texture that we simply can plug it in here. And we have the colors we had before. And it actually gets applied like it should. For example, here it was a little bit more brownish. and it's a little bit brown here too. Of course, Blender doesn't map it 100% correctly. So set that to, I think I used 50. Yeah, that gives a nice glow. And there's something else. Yeah, just find a nice frame here in the simulation. I think I will use some more scutters, so maybe 700, and I will set the threshold to 0.5 so it breaks a little bit easier. Execute the fracture. And now actually, sorry, I accidentally stopped the recording. Let's see what I did in the meantime. I cranked up the strength to 50, and I think I set it to 700, 2 and 0.5, so nothing. And I moved the camera a little bit more upwards so we see it a little bit better. So here. So now let's do that. So fracture, when I p-sect and fill. And actually I think I used the shortcut in Blender somehow, and I actually accidentally have the same for the recording stop. Yeah, I will have a look at later. So here we want to select inside 01. It's a new material I created. It's an emission material. Yeah, I created that while the recording stopped. And execute fracture. We have to go to frame 1 so it actually works. And just let it run. So now it finished fracturing, and yeah, one thing I just one thing that came in my mind, these are really experimental features down here, so don't use them right now. Blender will crash each time. I tested it already, so yeah, you can do it if you wanted to, but just promise me. So we want to use some constraints, so maybe. So now I'm back. As you saw, Blender crashed, and I used the time to redo the fracture, and I set the count back to 600 actually, and I used a different seed because the old seed had many of these errors in the mesh. Yeah, let's play it back and just set limits per object to 4. That's a little bit too much. It's a really quick way to control how stiff it should be. And I will add in now a texture to the inside 01 we used for that. For that inside here, and I think I want to use the dirt. and adjust the curves just a little bit. So color RGB curves and just a little bit more contrast. A little bit more white. So maybe even more. So yeah, just find a frame you like so you can read it actually, and you see it crashed again. So you see Blender crashed again, but yeah, it's an experimental version here, and there are some quite heavy physics simulations, so yeah, it's not Blender's fault when we do such complex stuff. And yeah, I have to plug the texture back in, and maybe you watched that video when that is already an official feature. Yeah, and I hope you can use everything I show you here. There are two. So yeah, I think I don't want to add in this curve because it's a little bit unnecessary. Let's see. Maybe set down the constraint to 1 so it just has a little bit of this. I just want to get a little bit of these really cool looking. So I think I'm gonna use that frame here, and I apply this now, and let's see which frame I like here. So let's see. Maybe add a little bit more light here, so you see it just a little bit better. And I think I use that frame here, and I apply it as well. And now we can remove all these rigid body sims. And here as well. Now we have a static scene. Save it. And now we'll switch to the normal Blender version so I can render on GPU, because there the GPU isn't compiled. So I rendered on CPU right now. So I saved it now, stop the recording really quick, and go to normal Blender version. That means it supports all the GPU and such things. So I'm back, and this just worked because we applied the modifier, so it's just a normal mesh. So make sure you did that. And now we can start the rendering process. And let's see, I want to add a glossy material to this plane. Already dark one with just a little bit of roughness, and I have glossy. That gives these really nice reflections here. So, and I want to have a little bit more lighting overall, but I don't want to get this floor too bright, so I use, sorry, that was too fast. I am in the node editor here, in the material nodes, and I selected here the world material nodes. Now we can change the world shader. I added a shader mix shader. I duplicate that one here. Let's see. Now it works. And also a light path node. Let's see, light path. And when it's a glossy ray, which our plane is, it just uses this one, and otherwise it uses that one, so we can light the scene without affecting this ground plane here. And let's see, I want to move that to its own layer. That one as well, and that one as well. Now here. And enable all layers. We can delete that thing here. And on this layer I also want to add in a plane which will light just this text object here. Local and if you have any questions, because you aren't or you are new to Blender and you aren't that fast, just write it in the comments, because I will work quite fast, I think, because otherwise it would take just forever, because originally that took me 6 hours or so. Let's see, emission and 10 should work, and we also disabled that for the camera and for glossy. Yeah, for camera and the glossy. And maybe that's too bright. 7. Let's see. I want to move that one just a little bit more back here and scale it. Move that one here and rotate it. Then we can move that one. Here, yeah, this looks a little bit nicer. And I think we can already start the compositing. But let's have a quick look on my desktop. Yeah, I think I should add some more lights. And the ground is quite noisy. But let's crank up the samples. Preview. Yeah, it's a little bit rough. So 0.05. And just a little bit more reflection. So now we want to do the render layers. The first render layer is just the floor. This renders everything, or just that layer. The second layer is the X. This is the text underscore big. And this one is the text underscore small. So yeah, that light is just too bright. And oh, I want to add in a lamp. I forgot that. I want to use an area lamp. Just position that somewhere here. Make it quite big. And have a look. And it isn't visible for the glossy. We just want to light the text object here. Just a little bit here, and just 50. And I'm still not quite happy with the result. Maybe a brighter color here, but less intensity. Yeah, I'll render that now. So, and now I just want to make a short video afterwards, because I saw in the editing, well, while I edited the video, I saw I made just a few stupid things, and I just wanna, or I just had a look in the original blend file, and I just wanna correct myself on some little settings so you get actually a better result. I just delete this area lamp and go back in Node Editor with Shift F3. And you see screencast keys here. Go in the material nodes and the world nodes, and I just used some really low strength, 0.2 and 0.1. So you get an overall much darker image. And even if it looks really dark right now, let's see, make it just a little bit brighter. And here just a little bit brighter, but you want to get it mostly dark. And even if it looks now really dark, later with all that stuff we add in the compositor, it will look great. And now I will go ahead with the original video I recorded, but yeah, you don't see these changes I made now there, so you'll see the image we had originally. Doesn't look too bad. And we do some post-processing in Krita as well. But let's see, the samples are 500, and we want to have a transparent background. And now render it again. So we'll let that render now really quick, and I'll see you on the compositor. So now I'm back, and I just added this alpha overload here because I recognize the recording stopped again. I have to change the shortcut really, because I always stop the recording here just while I render. Yeah. What I said, or at least I added these render layers here, and what I said is you always want to start with the object or the layers that are in the back, so you add on top. So in this case the floor, and you want to add the text above it. The same for the other text, it's before the other one, so we want to add it above it, and the same here. So you see we have the normal final image, and now we can do some tweaks to each layer. First I want to add in some clear effects, but yeah, I will show it now real quick, the problem. And this is fog glow, and actually it works. Yeah, I had a problem last time with the alpha, but when it works I don't have anything against it. So just some fog glow and Control Shift left click to add this to the viewer, and also some streaks, threshold, oh, I have to set it higher. Just for streaks, and mix is a little bit negative, so we get just a little bit of these. And now color mix and set it to add. And it's a little bit too heavy, so we set it the mix a little bit down, so we use a little bit more of the original image. So the same thing up here, so duplicate these 3 nodes, and up here and right in here, and let's have a look. Oh, that was the wrong layer. So that one goes straight in here, and this one. So we have to use that one instead. And add that one down here. So adjust the settings. So set down the threshold a little bit, and you see it starts to glow. And also these streaks here, set down the mix value and the threshold, and now have a look. A little bit more mix from the original image. Yeah, that's it. And we can add some overall color correction, but I think it looks really good like it is right now. And yeah, I will save that. So go to the UV image editor and to view node and save that one. desktop and call it render. And now we'll go to Krita and do there some final tweaks. So now we are in Krita and I rendered it again in full HD, so 1920 by 1080. And I want to add in, let's see, a new layer. And I use a graphic tablet, by the way, here, because it's just much easier to navigate and paint. And I just pick one of these colors right in between here, so one of these really nice blues here. And let's see, brush. Just use this soft brush here, this soft brush, and just paint and rotate with let's see, with I think it's the middle mouse on my pen. Yeah, with middle mouse and shift. Yeah, I was a little bit confused because I have these buttons on my pen and I made some default configuration and I just use it, and sometimes I'm not quite sure which pen is what. So I just pick this colors here and paint them crazy. So I try to make it as radial as possible so that they go in each direction. One of these warmer colors right in here. Maybe pick one of that. So just mix it. Let's see here. So it's more of the white. Just paint however you want. Maybe add in a little bit of that blue manually. And let's see. Just add it in a little bit. And select maybe that color here, that looks really nice. This reddish. And yeah, right now it looks really horrible. Like you don't have any sense or any control over your pen. But you will see at the end it will add a really nice final touch to it. So just all colors we have in here, so maybe that color here as well, to get really nice variations. And now simply press E. I'm not sure if that is my default shortcut. If it is, just select erase. Just make the brush a little bit smaller and start to erase that here. And make sure you go over these corners here a little bit more here. So here it starts really soon to fade out. So make it a little bit bigger and just erase it. And make sure you erase like, or you erase in that direction the light streaks should go. I think you call it God rays or so. So just erase and maybe a paint in again some of these colors here, pick them and paint them in again and erase, and pick them in, or pick them and erase. That adds also some nice variations. I just want to have it ever so slightly, so I want to see that here in the background. And just select the color again, paint over, give it more of the blue tone here, maybe here, and erase it again. This time a little bit smaller. And we should get a really good impression of these light rays. And you see I did a little bit of mistake here when I crossed these, but it's not too bad. So just constantly rotate around. And now I think I have to end the video now, because I think even right now it's 2 hours long, maybe even more. So yeah, I have to see how I'll upload that on YouTube. Yeah, whoops, so man, that's crazy. Oh, no. You have to press the middle mouse. Yeah, so just tweak that and you'll see that adds a really lot to the impression that there's some strong light emitting from inside. And I think I saved the other one. Let's see. Blender, Minecraft, and yeah, here's the image from my original image. So you see this adds really much, and you see I had it overall a little bit darker. But yeah, it took me 6 hours, so you can't compare that. So that's it. Please share this video. This was really difficult to make for me, because I had to record it several times. So there was much work in it, and even right now I have to edit each minute. And yeah, so please share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel for future videos, and like it, give me thumbs up, and spread it out in the world. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Now finally I have these two, because yeah, I was just too lazy for quite a long time to make these actually all websites, Twitter and so. But yeah, you'll find it in the description. Share it, like it, subscribe, and I hope I see you in my next tutorial. So see you there and have a good time.